Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Progressive Web Application Tutorials. This is Ali Raza, and today I'm going to tell you how can we install our PWA inside our Android phone. So let's start and have a look what we have today. Alright guys, so this is our app that we have been using since the start of this series. So now because I wanted to check it on an Android phone, so for that purpose I need to install Android Studio. So I'll let you know how to get Android Studio. Simply write on the Google and you see the developer.android.com. Just click on this link and you'll get the official website of the Android Studio, and there you can download this. There is no need of understanding how can we use Android Studio. Simply download it and install it. Okay, when you install it, you see it will show a pop-up something like this, and here we have to go to the configure and AVD manager. AVD means Android virtual device, so that I can be able to access a device or Android phone virtually on my PC. So before this you have to go to the SDK manager, so that the necessary files you should be able to download and install inside your Android Studio, otherwise it will not run. So let me show you what I have installed. You see I have installed a little bit of Android versions, that starting from 8.1. If you wish to install any other, you can simply check that and install it based on the space requirements. And the further thing that you have to do is to install all these things that I have checked here, at least inside your system. So I hope you understood. But after downloading the Android Studio, you have to check all these things and then install them, and then you will get the results. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an AVD or an Android virtual device. So let's click on the AVD manager, and you see here I have already created a device with the name my phone. So if you wish to create another device, let me tell you how you can create a new device. So click on the new virtual machine, and here you see there are so many virtual machines, or the phones that belongs to the Google are coming by default here. So you want to, if you wish to add, you can add. I have created a Pixel 2 device. If you see at the back end, that is the Pixel 2 device that I have created. If you have another hardware profile or another phone profile that is not in the list, you can create it by clicking there on the new hardware. So you can give the name, you can select the type of the device, you can give the resolutions, the RAM, the orientations, the sensors, the front back cameras. So every setting that a physical phone is having, you can have here on this Android Studio. And simply then click on the finish button, so that your AVD will be created, or Android virtual device will be created. I hope it is clear to everyone. So this is how I have created a new device, and you see it is coming here. Okay, and then you have to simply click on this start button, so that your Android device will display or will start on your PC, on your Android, on your desktop PC or your laptop PC. I hope it is clear. But one more thing that you must know, that in order to run your Android virtual device, you have to make sure that your physical PC or your PC has virtualization enabled. And how can you enable the virtualization? By simply going in the BIOS, and then by pressing the F2 key. When simply restart your PC and then press F2 key again and again, and then you will enter into the BIOS setup, and there you navigate around the options. There you find an option that is virtualization, and simply you have to enable that virtualization, and then you do all this stuff. I hope it is clear to everyone. After this, now let's try to run our application, that is this one here inside this. But you see this is a whole new different setup and a different environment, so we have to pass this thing here. So let's try to open the Chrome and open our app inside this phone. But one thing I must tell you again, guys, this is the local host, okay, and this is for the physical PC that we have, but this is a virtual device, and we cannot be able to access this local host directly here. So what we do, we use a proxy, that is the IP of this PC, and with the help of that proxy IP address, we can be able to access this application inside this. So I have my Chrome opened successfully. Now one thing that I have to do here is, okay, so here I am going to pass the IP address of my PC, that is 10.0.1.118. So this is the IP address that my PC has, and then what I'm going to do, I am writing my home.html. okay, and then simply click on the go button. Alright guys, so you see here what I have done. I have changed the address of my PC, that is 10.0.1.119. that's my IP address, and then the port number that you might have noticed, let me show you. This is the port number 5500, so I have to pass it to my address here inside the Chrome, and then let's write the home.html and then just simply enter it. So you'll see I'll get my whole application that you see inside my browser screen, and inside my this browser screen inside my Android emulator. Now the one thing that I must tell you here is that how can I install this. So for that purpose, let's click on this icon, and you see option is appearing add to home screen. Okay, so here I have to click add to home screen, and you see automatically my manifest file loads the name, the short name that I have provided in the manifest file, and simply click on add. So now you see automatically it shows me this will be the icon that will be displayed, so please add it automatically. After this, let's close this application and check on the application that do we have that or not. Alright, so let's navigate it, and you see here my app icon is here, and when I click it, you see a app screen, a splash screen is there already, just like a native app we install inside our application. And then you see this time the browser address bar is removed, and when I click here, it gives me a perfect view that we utilize inside our native app. Okay, but that is my web application, but it is now installed on my home screen. But the problem here is the application should, when we open the app, it should display, when we open the app for the first time, it should display an automatic pop-up that you wanted to install this application on your screen or not. Okay, rather we go and manually clicking on the add to home screen button. So we have to do something like that. So let's remove this. Right, let's remove this app by holding it up by pressing a long click. So a long click and then remove. So I have removed this app from this, and now what we have to do, one thing, localhost that we are using here in the address bar of the browser, we have to do the same here as well, because HTTP and HTTPS has an exception for the localhost that it will override the settings. So I have to do this. For that purpose, let's go and right click and inspect. Here what I wanted to do, I just wanted to access my application in the phone with the help of the localhost rather than typing the IP address. So I wanted to remove the dependency of the IP address. So for that purpose, let's click on these three dots and then go to these settings, more tools, and then click on the remote devices. Okay, increase the size. You see at the bottom here we have devices, and my emulator is already connected. If you have your physical device connected, then it will display there as well. Okay, so you see port forwarding. So I wanted to make that override. I wanted to create a rule that will simply change my port, the address to the local host. So let's click on the port forwarding and then click on the add rule, and simply write here the device port that was 5500, and the local address that I wanted to access here is localhost and then colon 5500. Okay, so that's a rule that I'm going to add here inside this add. Now let's go and try to write here localhost colon 5500. So let's check whether it is working or not. Alright guys, so you can see my directory is displayed. Let's click here / and check now. and also add the home.html, that is this one, and then click enter. Now you see, with the help of the localhost, now my application is perfectly running. Okay, so without writing any IP address, I have simply just do a rule or add a rule here with the port forwarding. I hope you got this. Now let's try to check it out. Run the audit again with the help of the mobile device and start. That's a lighthouse audit, and this time we'll see what will happen. So you see now, this time the performance of my application in the Google's eye is 98% and 91, and best practices and so on. And you see here, this time I got this badge. In the previous lectures you might have noticed that this was not coming. So the performance is perfect and the accessibility is also perfect, but we have to do certain things still to make it more better. So you see, now all these things are there, and my app is now accessible when it's offline, and it uses HTTPS, that is the local host exception that is there, but it's not actually the HTTPS. And then you see everything is perfect, but still there is one thing, does not redirect HTTP traffic to HTTPS, and it will resolve when we do connect our application with the database in the future lectures. I hope it is clear to everyone. So guys, that's all for today. Hope you have learned how to specify this thing, but one thing is still remaining, that is when I open the app, you see now add to home screen icon is appearing automatically, rather than I go on these three dots and then click on add to home screen. So when I click here add to home screen, and you see now the same stuff, because now we have specified localhost, we have specified the overriding, we have added the rule. Now it is giving me the same thing now. So that's give me a better user interface. You see now adding A3, a prompt was there, and the same stuff is going to be happening soon. So you see my app is successfully added. Now let's click here and check it out. So you see now my app is there, and when I open it, it gives me the same UI as we open a native app inside our mobile device. I hope it is clear to everyone, and there is no address bar as well. So guys, do practice these things by yourself, and if you do not understand anything, please do write me. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.